No, I do not just have a straight screwdriver. That's not going to fit it. I know that for a fact. So. Get out! I actually have the screwdriver that fits it, for real. Like, that's a real screwdriver. Yeah, so I have a real screwdriver. Yay me! Totally planned this. I can't believe I had a screwdriver this whole time. You also need a block of wood for this. Here's a nice oak one I prepared earlier. So you lift the back end up, you chock it with that piece of wood, which means you can get your hand in there and not chop it off, because that's inconvenient. Reason why I'm squeezing here every time is so that I believe this camera is in view of picking up what I'm doing. Do you know what? Let's just do this quickly. If I could tap there, wake you up, wake up. So what I'm doing is I've got this chock of wood here, so it gives me space here. So I've undone this Jubilee clip here on the fuel petcock there, and I've made sure that's switched to off. I hope that's switched to off. Now I'm going to try and prise it off from this side here, and then the whole thing should just lift off, and then I can put it on that canvas without damaging the tank, because it's a pretty tank. That's my hand, and that's my camera. Yeah, that's vaguely right. Right, so now you know what I'm trying to do. Let's see if I can actually do it. Ooh. Ooh. Yep. Came off. Now there should be nothing else attached to this tank. So in theory, apart from it being heavy because it's full, just like that. We've got a slight leak of fuel. I hope that's just remnants or something. Okay, so don't need that anymore. What I do need, do I want to do it? Basically what I'm trying to do is take the bottoms of the carburetors off, because I have in my back pocket an assortment of what these things are called. These are called slow jets, and they are the slow dispersion of fuel for when the bike's idling, because my bike, I need to turn out the jets. Well, there's too many jets basically. When the screen goes off, it's throwing me a loop. Yeah, basically I need to make sure that I turn them out, because currently turned out to 4.5, which is way too high. You don't want 4.5, you want about not that. So I'm going to see. This may work way too easily. I never like it when it works easy, there's always a catch. Okay, so you can vaguely see it's like dark in there because of where the light's shining, but you're going to have to just take my word for it. So this first screw turns fine, don't need to worry about that. Second screw is right there, third screw is that one there. I hope to God. I don't want to take the whole carbs off, that's the problem. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bolts on the top of the intake, the airbox. Loosen them off. Did the rest by hand so it doesn't make that horrible ratcheting noise. Right, we're off. Remember, it's hiding my rest of my things that I need down there. And underneath that is 2 more bolts on the look of it, which need to come off. Just twisting those off. 1, 2. So I bought this bike from the Midlands a Coventry area from a really nice garage, which I bought a second. This is the second bike I bought off of them. I'll put the name of it if I can think of it. Well, I went too far with that. I'll put the name up if I can think of it, if it comes to me. Or if I see this video section and remember I'm supposed to be doing that. And yeah, basically, they're really cool. I got this bike for an unbelievable 600 quid, which is ridiculously cheap. The only issue was, it was missing the carbs. I'm going to explain this as best I can. So you'll have to excuse me, but if you reach your hand under, you will feel the boot, which is the little rubber thing which connects the carbs to the actual engine block. Basically, pick a side that you can reach the easiest and undo it, because then you have to fight it. So I'm just having a feel, see if I can feel the tube clip, and I've got one there. There, on top. There's these bottom ones too. No, that's too hard to reach. Okay, so they're underneath, and it should, in theory, just be a straight flathead or crosshead screwdriver. And you need to turn it about 4 or 5 times until it slips because it's loose, like that one just did. And then it's on to the next. And I will probably move the U over here in a minute. I also realised that when I'm struggling or putting pressure on, I keep pulling a face. This is the face that my family has pulled for generations. My father pulled that face, and my father's father pulled that face, and now it's just a part of our history. We pull faces when we struggle, so I'm trying my best not to, because it's very disturbing. Oh, it's really hard not to pull a face. In fact, it's actually harder to not pull a face than it is to do the task that I'm trying to do. I don't even know how that makes sense. I suppose the face is saying that I'm actually doing something. There you go. Is that actually slipping or what? Right, I think that one's off. Yeah, that one's off. Right, great. So I am disconnecting this pipe here. I don't know if you can see it. Pinch that. If you can't, just do it with your hand. Grab a pair of pliers. You will have some fuel leakage. I mean, with all the fuel I've already spilled, that's not really a problem. I'm currently like in a tinderbox at this rate. It's all good. I'm going to bring you over. So I need to show this quickly. Sorry for the noise. All the noise. I'll try my best not to make it too much. Okay, so tubular clips are just on the other side here. You'll see them in a minute when I take it off. You need to make sure this is disconnected here, which, there you go, you pinch that side there and pull that's off. And you've got coolant, which is in there. You're going to basically try, you don't want these to vanish too much because you want to be able to remember to put them back in theory. Oh, do you know what? Let's try it with them in place. So that's out the way. That's out the way. That's out the way. And then we're going to do some very dignified lift and pull like that. That is now the carb detached. So just quickly, I'm not taking this off fully because that would be too easy. I'm currently attaching you to the negative cable because that makes sense. Alright, so fuel, that's what we need. This one here, that's your idle speed, Is that on the picture? Yeah, it is. Then you've got coolant there, coolant here. I'm going to pull this one off here, which comes off straight like that. I'm going to pull this one off here, which doesn't want to come off like that. Just like that. And now, so if I lift this up, can you see under here? These are the Jubilee clips. That's coolant leaking, that's fine. These are the Jubilee clips which you loosen, and I'll be pushing back on with great difficulty later on. Okay, so these are what I'm undoing right here. I'm going to start with this one. Now again, I said it earlier, I'll say it again, when I do this, it will leak fuel. I don't know if I've mentioned, this is my first time recording the entirety of what I'm doing, so I have to pay attention to the battery as well. On the thing, I do have spares that did not want to turn. Hey look, there's all that fuel that was in my tank, or in my carb. It's now running down my engine all over the floor. Happy days. So, there's the bottom of the carb, and just while it's off, I'm going to inspect it, see how it looks. I mean, it's very clean actually. I'm happy with that. And then, the whole reason that we're doing this. I might need to use my phone for this because I am blind. So these have 12mm slow pilot jets in it, and I need to put 17s in there. I'm guessing 17s. Now the problem is that I'm not as young as I used to be. And there's writing on here which is tiny, and I have to try and somehow spot that. So I'm going to show you when I spot one, but not before, so you just have to admire. Oh, I'm not even putting that there, that scares me. Oh, what's that? It's 25. No way, is that 17? No, that's 15. Hey, I found it. So, put my phone down a second. Tap there. So this little bad boy here, somewhere on that side there, has a 17. This is what I'm replacing. So, small stubby screwdriver, and it is just a little bit here. Right there. So this one comes out. By the way, I cannot express how careful you've got to be doing this, because you don't want all of this. See, I hope this is the right one after all this. I'll be damned, there's actual text on this one. I did not know that. Please tell me it's not. Okay, that's 12.5 on there. Good. So I'm going from a 12.5 to a 17. You're supposed to technically step it up to a 15 and then a 17 to test it, but I am not doing that. I'm just jumping straight to 17 because I've had to turn the fuel jets, pilot jets, or whatever the hell they're called, out 4.5 turns where they should be sat at 2.5 turns for standard. So to have to switch them out that far says that there is a fundamental issue somewhere. Oh, that went so fast in. Right, that's in. Done. Now put it all back together. Just do that 3 more times. Obviously, as you do each one, you want to check over your card, make sure it's all looking happy, that nothing is bunged up or clogged up or anything like that. Right, screw number 1. Go there. And obviously I have to be very careful not to let any screws drop or fall down into the engine somewhere, because A, I need them, obviously, and B, if they go into the engine, that's not going to be a very happy time. It's going to be a very sad time. So once this is done, actually I could do this now. Once I've screwed this one in, I'm going to turn it. I'll try and show you as well how much is my battery looking at. There's still something of a battery in there. Good. Okay. Right, so that's a crosshead, switch into a flathead. Now just here, this is your fuel jet. Because this is on the side closest to the engine. If it was on the other side, it'd be an air jet, but because it's on this side, it's a fuel jet. Screwdriver in, make sure it's taking traction, tighten it all the way in, loose, and you don't have any force. You hold this so softly. So the second it grips, it just slips through your fingers, like that. Right, then you take a note of where it is. The hole's going across here on the screwdriver, as in this hole here. So I put that back in, and I'm going to do 1 rotation. That's a half rotation, so that's a half a turn. Another rotation, 1. Another rotation, that's 1.5. Another rotation, that's now 2. Another rotation, that's now 3. And the hole is still on the side there. That's how I keep a mental note of where it is. This is now turned to 2.5. I'm going to do the same thing for all 3. One little trick. When you're putting these bungs back on, when you're putting these boots back on, is if you just spray it with WD-40. It's all going to combust anyway, so it's fine, but if you spray it with a bit of WD, it makes them plug back into the holes so easy. But yeah, let's make sure these are all facing accessible. There you go. Real good. I haven't pushed it down fully yet, so I'm just making sure all the hoses go back on. So you've got the 2 bleeds, they're now fully on. And now it's just a case of lining them up on the holes properly, make sure they're centralised, and then give a nice firm pop, and this should go back on. One side went on easily. I think that's it. Yeah, if you just WD-40 it, yeah, that's it. That can't be it, can it? Oh, my key, sorry. Yeah, that looks like it. Fuel pipe back on, squeeze that grip. You should use a pair of pliers to squeeze this thing in. I'm just going to use my fingers because I'm an idiot. So you make sure when you're doing up the jubing clips, you get your finger around the back of it, because if you don't, when you go to tighten it, you have to kind of put pressure on it. If you push, it'll just spin. Then. Right, now we're just going to make sure the pipes are fully pushed back to where they belong, which they are there. And I'm going to put this thing in. That doesn't matter, so this bit, which goes, I stick this round under here, plugs it in there. So this bike has never had a proper one of these, whatever these are. Again, you've got a crimp. I'm just going to do it by hand, because how I roll. Right, that's fully in there. That's now up fully there. Crimped on. Spine is definitely broken. All those fuel plates are there. That's still there, which it should be. That's attached. Fully there. That's attached. Fully there. Yep. Right. Fun times. So, biggest issue is we putting this back on all in. As the ports don't want to line up. Now technically, if they're not 100% lined up, it's not actually the end of the world. But I want them to be as good as possible because I'm very anal like that. And it will bug me no end if I know they're not. Comply. Where the hell? Right, here's a stubby. Not in that pocket. There you are. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Once this is vaguely gripped, I'm going to move you back over there. So while you're doing this, you should always go through in the head. Have I done X, have I done Y, and have I done Z? Because it's a good way of making sure you haven't forgotten anything, or that you've forgotten everything like I do. So none of these need to be rock solid, just nice and snug and firm. Make sure that joint's in, those two are porting on nicely, and that one could be better. There you go, better, cute. That one is never a scary moment. Right, front on there, back sort of down, not fully down because you want to be able to reach under and do the adjustments, except I put it all the way down, so ignore everything I've just said. I clearly don't know what I'm talking about. This has that angle there. Pure chance, very useful because it can lock up against the frame. When you place the metal on down, it stops the actual wood wanting to slide with the rest of it. So it just acts like a bit of resilience. Right. Now, the fun game called reattach the fuel. For now, that's absolutely enough. Right, scary time. That out of the way. That's, you go down that way there for now. I'm really impressed. Wait for a second. Because I just dropped that and it is, apart from blinding you, it has no fuel in the system.